Phenomenal woman. Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palms of my hands, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. That's my mother and all your mothers, and my grandmothers, and your grandmothers, and my great-grandmothers, and your greats, and my great-greats, and all you women, and me.
Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome one and all. Verta Sanchez, thank you so much for being first today. There are no prizes, but you get major street cred. You are going to be the envy of all your friends and family, I promise. I would say take that to the bank, but I don't want to get you in trouble. All right, so let me see. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Yes. Deidre Meinke, thank you so much for being here. Lorna Williams and Emerald Derrick, Levy, and Nuthalando Niandeni, thank you so much for being here. She wants to say hi to a few people. Lorna Williams, thank you. Christina L. Celia C. S is here. Lambert Charles, Vinny Blair, Madison Bonaparte. Let me see. Oh, Lydia Washington wants to say hi to a few people. Hi, Lydia. Connie Bomber. Hey, Connie Bomber. All right. Uh-oh. Lip balm. I gotta stop splitting my lip. It's still kind of dry, you know what I mean? Okay, Jan Martin is here. Who else? Mary H. Okay, I'm gonna. Hey, Rochelle Baldreau, Sonia Johnson, Hitley Joseph, Perlina Answer, Novi D, Nancy Herlock, Carol Rennie. Hello, 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 and hello. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way to the last comment. Looking through for anything important. Hey, Pomerose, you're important. And Christina L., you're important. Sharon Chung, you're important. Joan Commonwealth, definitely important. Okay, I got to keep going. nurse midwife. All right, I'm all the way at the end. Creative, unique experience. Let me see here. Well, that looks interesting. I want part of that. Charles don't have the wherewithal to be frightened. If he did, he wouldn't be in the circumstances he is with Camilla, William, Kate, and the rest. Meghan Sussex is worthy to be praised. I'd say amen to that one for sure. Thank you so much for that. And happy Saturday, by the way. Okay. Almost there. Jael, thank you for being here. All right. So Karen is the last one in here. Thank you so much. Diamond Blue 24. H Knight, Lucy Wynn. All right. So in case you didn't know it, today is Independent Bookstore Day. So if you have time, or if you may want to order something online, like, I don't know, another copy of Spare, it is Independent Book Day. We are running out of these independent bibliotheques, as they say. In, was that the Netherlands? They called the library the bibliothèque? Well, bookstore. So if you can, I mean, if the notion strikes you, support those ma and pa businesses. It is an alarming rate of shops that are closing on the high street. I'm getting like this hybrid English accent, the high street. God, they don't have a high street in the hood. Anyway, if you can, try to support those local businesses. Jay, no, is it Joy Amore? Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Brenda Gray. All right, so that is what I wanted to tell you about that. Support the International Independent Bookstore Day. Yeah, I think it's local. I mean, just for the U.S., I think, but still vitally important wherever you are. Rick, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Hey, Black Queen, Miranda Rios. And Miranda wants to say hi to a few people. We can help out with that. Very good. Thank you so much. All right. Now, speaking of books and libraries and bookshops, I just wanted to share this image with you. Back in 2018, I went to the Cambridge University. I was a tourist. Technically, I went to Cambridge. And this is the Christopher Wren Library, which was completed in 1895. I think it took almost 30 years to complete. But this beautiful monument of higher learning, of education, of the book, if you will, has been around all these years and still in pristine condition. So yeah, when I found out that they had the library, I got so excited, and I'm sure that lady was like, what in the world does he know about Christopher Wren? Only that he's the architect that designed St. Paul's Cathedral, and I think he also did part of Kensington Palace. Anyway, the guy was like a minimalist, actually. He didn't like a lot of colors and stuff. He liked clean glass windows and white paint on the walls. Unfortunately, when he died, St. Paul's was layered with lots of like elements that kind of took away from his very minimalist idea of the neoclassical look. But anyway, that is a really cool place. So if you are in the UK, that jewel is there. So make sure you go see it. It's really cool to walk around the campuses of some of those old universities, or even if you're in the New World, some campuses are pretty interesting. So there you go. Right here. This seems to be what preoccupies the minds of so many people in the UK. Now, when I say people, I don't think we're referencing the average person. There are I guess, the tabloid reporters and the whole tabloid media complex. There is the royalists, the sycophants, all of those people. But when it comes to what they are projecting to the world through the media, it seems like everything is, I don't know, Charles, the king, the coronation, Meghan, Rishi Sunak, all those things. But Meghan just keeps popping up. It's amazing. Now, I don't know how they came up with this order of importance, but I think they have pretty much underestimated the importance of Meghan to the 24-hour news cycle. Let me just say that. So, in terms of, I would say, government spending, in terms of people, yeah, they're going to put 6,000 military people on the streets of London. So I say at this moment, it is all about the king and the coronation. However, the big, I guess, money cow is the Sussexes. It's all about Meghan and Harry. So that's one way to look at it. But anyway, I thought this was pretty interesting because these are the things that um, people are focusing on with the news at this time. And as you can see, even if there is a crisis in Sudan, it doesn't seem to take precedence over Harry and Meghan, Harry and Meghan, Harry and Meghan. And if people are going to keep saying their names that much, hey, coffee bar, then I say I want them to monetize their popularity, good and bad. I want them to monetize that, or should I say good or bad, because I just don't understand why they should not make money. And the Sussexes are going to be very respectful about it. So far, they haven't put a foot wrong. Even if you are someone that are, one of the people that are listening to Royal Sussex that are hoping at some point I'm going to have this huge revelation and understand how important it is for Prince Charles to be crowned king and for him to keep being shady and stop all this Meghan and Harry stuff. All I have to say is keep waiting. Hold your breath. Try not to pass out. But the Sussexes, my point is, they haven't done anything that set a precedence for the family in terms of speaking about, well, should I say, speaking out about their family. Well, Meghan hasn't really spoke out about her family so much, but Harry has, and so has Charles. In terms of making money because of your name, well, let's face it, if you're born a Windsor, there's money that comes with that. And even though Charles has a phenomenal amount of wealth to call upon, it does not stop him from making even more money by investing in the markets, by building real estate, or should I say, adding to his real estate portfolio, as well as, what doesn't the Queen selling gin and tea towels and all kind of stuff? I mean, come on. I went to the gift shop at Windsor Castle and bought a chocolate bar. So, yeah, doesn't that money go right back to them? I think it does. So let everybody build upon their name. Plus, Meghan is exceptional in that she had a brand before she got there. And I think she can have it both ways. I know she can. Yes, Meghan can be married to Harry and still develop and cultivate a brand, especially if you don't want her there doing all that free work that she was doing stuff in the name of the Queen and in the name of the Crown and the Commonwealth, since she was not allowed to do that, since you drove her out of the country, then the default position is, oh, am I missing something really important? They were financially cut off from the institution. They were financially cut off from the institution. So, yes, they do have a right to earn money. And yes, they do have a right to use their names. In Harry's case, his birth name, you can never take that away from him. And in Harry's case, I'm sorry, in Meghan's case, as she is his lawfully wedded wife, she, of course, has access to her name as well. And that's just a fact. So I want them to be billionaires. I really do. Okay, so Prince Harry not flight, as he prepares to take stand. All right. So this is this is something really, really serious. This is very, very serious, I think, because when I just said precedence, setting a precedence for the family, this is definitely not so much unheard of in the royal family. They've always been briefing against each other. But because it involves the heir, and it involves the sovereign now, this is going to be huge. This is so much different from everything else. Hey, BW, I was hoping that I could share some of those photos from Spain, but we'll talk about that later. But if you can send some, not with you in the photo, of course, we want to protect your privacy. But if you have something that you can share with us, perhaps you can email it, one, two, whatever you're comfortable with. I would love to share that with everyone if you're inclined to, but don't answer right now. Okay, so this is going to be major. Like, for instance, oh my goodness, why is that all the way up there? Okay, any one of the thousands of people that I met or was introduced to, this is Harry's words, on any given day could easily have said, you know what? You're an idiot. I've read all the stories about you and now I hate you and I'm going to stab you, said Prince Harry in a witness statement for a court case that once again threatened to rewrite what we know about the royal family. Now that's deep, but it's so true. It is so true. And Harry is stating the case. Okay, I don't know what that is, but let me turn this ringer off. Harry is stating the case very ably, I might add, that because of I'm just going to call it hate speech from the tabloids. Do you know that one of the trolls wrote a comment in the comment saying Meghan doesn't have any friends, nobody likes her. This is some older person, probably on a pension somewhere, that has been reading this stuff and has come to this conclusion that Meghan does not deserve any daylight. I'll just say that. Meghan does not deserve daylight because of the things that she read in the tabloids, because of these shows that are on the interweb, the talk TV, and of course you have the sad little man. You got all of this churned out day after day after day, and so people with very little to do, I'll say that, people with very little to do, or maybe some people that have plenty to do, sitting around and hating someone. Back in the day when we had soap operas, like, for instance, Dynasty, there were times when Joan Collins was worried that people hated her. I don't know that she was ever worried about physical injury, but she said that these kids one day, if I recall the story, had told her, Alexis, we hate you because of what they saw on television. And people really are affected by that. And Harry is making this case about this We all know this, which is why we defend them. But there's so many people that have such a skewed reality, that they're so fragile mentally, that it is very worrisome that this information that's being cranked out day after day after day. I mean, let's face it, because of what I've said, um, I, I wonder how many times someone might want to have a conversation with a member of the royal family and then say, never mind, I won't be able to understand what they're saying. See how that works. I mean, I get it. I have fun with it, of course. As I said, it's the way I deal with my frustration about things. But um, those things can easily spin out of control. Parody is one thing, but to say that someone is a national threat to a 1,000-year-old institution, a 1,000-year-old institution, that person is a threat, then that's when you drift into the realm of someone really getting hurt. And that's why this has to stop. And I know there's a lot of people, there may even be some people in the squad that thinks, oh, Harry just needs to stop now and just, no, because they don't stop briefing. The threat has not gone away. The threat continues. There's no logical reason to walk away. Why would you stand down when someone is threatening your life? And this is life threatening. So he has to continue this. He has to continue with whatever books or docuseries or conversations, interviews, however he decides to go forth in the beginning. I'm sorry, in the future, to make his case. And of course, keep taking him to court. Keep taking him to court. If there's a defense fund, then I'm going to have to make my meager contribution to it. But take him to court. Fight it out in the courts. Legally try to deal with this terrible monster called the British tabloid media, because they have ruined so many lives and they have paid out thousands of settlements that never get the light of day. People have been harassed after tragedy, harassed because of illness. Do you guys remember the lady that answered the phone at the hospital? Was it the Queen in the hospital? And that they were pranking her from that Australian radio station. And at some point, after being made the butt of the joke and feeling like she was othered because of her immigration status, she decided that life wasn't worth living anymore. Can't take that one back. All the apologies and such will never bring her back. Never bring her back. Let me see. Catherine Bryant. What is that one for? Congratulations. You know, I'm on the other screen, so I can't see what you guys are seeing, but did someone just reach a milestone? And I can't see it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, is someone a grandma? Is that what it is? Oh, Iris Demonia gifted a Royal Sussex membership. You know, I don't know how to do that. Well, anyway, congratulations to you, Iris Demonia. And what do we have here? Corliss Holly, 15 months. Thank you so much for your membership. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that thing about gifting a membership. I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. Okay, so let us move on. Anyway, if Prince Harry's account of Buckingham Palace attitude is correct, he says they are incredibly nervous about such confrontations with the press. They don't want to see a royal facing questions in open court. Well, too late for that now. And having spent years unpicking a single news night interview with Prince Andrew that might be understandable. It should have been a week of royal unity with King Charles readying himself to look statesmanlike and a father of the nation at the next weekend's coronation. Instead, he's been caught in family wrangles as a real life father in a dispute that could get even more complicated. Well, you know what, guys? I don't feel sorry for him. I just don't. I do not feel sorry for him. This is just unfortunate for everybody involved. But someone someone has gotten into bed with the devil, and now that that has happened, how did Malcolm X say it? The chickens are coming home to roost. Now, it doesn't mean it's the end of the institution. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything really that terrible for the institution because, as we know, with the worst of humanity, there are still people willing to support the worst people in the world. So, not to say that Charles is the worst person in the world, but I'm just saying, even if that were the case, he'd still find a place in the hearts of so many people who believe in that institution. That as sure as the sun comes up in the morning, there's got to be a royal family. Um, but Charles, trying to save face for himself and for his emotional support, Camilla, is the reason why Harry is in court. They made a deal with the tabloids. They made a deal with the tabloids to settle the dispute about the phone hacking and stuff. However, they left Harry out of it. They made all of these wheeling and dealing things happen and left Harry out of it. Now Harry is demanding his day in the sun with the very people that may have cost his mother her life. So, the institution, the tabloid media, he wants to make sure that this is not ignored. BW says, Baron, I went back to the start. Yes, I can send you some Spain photos. I just need your email and I can do that. Okay, I will grab the email for you. I'm never sure what it is. So just give me a second to do that. I'm going to grab that email. And if anybody else needs to email anything, now I'm I usually check it maybe once a week, just so you guys know. Okay. But I want to make sure it's all whatever upper lowercase it is supposed to be. So I'm going to check that right now just to make sure I get it right. Oh, really? Is that what it is? Oh, man. Okay, let me make sure this is right. And I'm going to put it there right now. There we go. Very cool. And I may crop or whatever I think needs to be done just to make them look super, super lovely. But yeah, a handful if you like. We'd love to see it. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. All right. Now we got something really nice to look forward to. Okay, Miss P Talk says Prince Harry did not confirm he is going to this coronation, and he normally does confirm things, so we are waiting to see if he goes. Ooh, I thought that was uh-oh. You're right about that. You're so right about that. I don't remember a confirmation. Wow. So maybe there's a chance he won't go, especially, and you know what, guys? Um, I don't want to. Okay. First of all, if Harry goes, I don't suspect anything is going to happen, right? No. Harry did confirm. He did, right? That's why they said he's going and she's not. So I'm pretty sure he's going, but let me say this to you guys. I don't suppose or suspect, I'm confident nothing is going to happen to Harry's safety during this coronation. However, I will say this: could you imagine? Could you imagine some of the Looney Tunes out there that may have made implied threats against Harry because of this uptick of hostility because of the lawsuit? I literally saw, I what? Oh gosh, I think it was Hoghead trying to blame Harry and Meghan. I'm going to say he implied Harry and Meghan were responsible for the young people not. Or should I? Okay, I'll say it like this: they're trying to blame the Sussexes for the lack of popularity amongst the young people. That is what the implication was: is that Harry and Meghan and their campaign against the royal family, against the institution. And so the young man that was on his show tried to get a word in edgewise and say, hey, this has been something that's been brewing for a long time, has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. But of course, Hoghead continued his assertion that Harry and Meghan were solely responsible for the woes of the royal family, as though they're the ones who pointed out the 350 million pounds a year to keep them safely ensconced in the life of luxury in exchange for them cutting ribbons, pulling curtains, and of course, so-called charity work. But thank you so much, Mrs. P. Talk. Happy Saturday to you. Okay, Corliss Holly, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. And Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Okay. Sonia Alexander says, I am glad I'm off next week, so I do not have to watch anything about the coronation. I will have a casino day instead. Come on, 7. Oh, man. Well, that sounds fun. I hope you enjoy yourself. Okay. All right, so, hey, Sean. Okay, Sean says, that's what I was asking. Did Archwell say it? Oh, okay. Oh, he's going. He's going. I think so. But if he has a change of heart, I support that. Marianne Morris says, if his security team confirms security threats to him, he will most certainly forego attendance. Well, I mean, okay. So I know some of you guys saw that video with the, was that a French journalist that seemed to be like a stalker around Harry, which may be unlawful in the state of California. But the sad truth about anybody in public life is no matter how much protection you have, it's like saying that a lock is burglary proof or theft proof. There's no such thing. So if you can get close enough to a head of state and hit them with an egg, then anything's possible. And that's just the way life is. So I would say I would not feed too much into the idea that going there is going to be so awful for him, because that's any of us. Any of us at any given time could be vulnerable, depending on the circumstances. So I wouldn't say that there is any reason to think that is going to be a bad idea to go. However, anything is possible. Anything can and will happen. So I won't pretend otherwise, but everybody in that family is vulnerable one way or the other. However, it is the Sussexes that have received the highest amount of threats out of anyone in that family. So, and it was the same way with the Obamas. The amount of threats that presidents get compared to having an African American in the White House, then of course those threats increase like 100-fold. So that is something to consider. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for your comment. I need to get moving here because I am falling way behind. Need to try to keep a certain pace. Lorna Williams says, when you are a young person trying to find a job, pay your rent that has doubled, trying to afford food, pay your gas bill, and see King Chucky is going to ride in a gold carriage, what do you expect? Lorna, I'm going to give you 2 bells. That is brilliant. Very, very well put. I could not have said it better. That is probably the best summation of this everything right there when it comes to the lack of enthusiasm amongst the young, because their quality of life, every generation is supposed to rise further ahead of the last, right? Everybody is supposed to make more money and be more successful than their parents. I mean, that's the natural order of things, right? However, this generation now, they are lagging terribly because of the lack of decent, affordable housing. And a lot of people that own real estate are the ones that inhibit building of new affordable housing. So it's something that is a global phenomenon. It's not because the population is growing so much. I think, some countries grow faster than others, but the lack of decent, affordable housing, that is an absolute scandal. And if there's anything that is going to tear down all of these institutions, it's going to be because they are taking the youth for granted. So, very, very good point. Thank you so much for that. Did I just say for granted? Okay. Every time I say that, Aretha Franklin is right there with me. What is that song? Take me to heart, and I'll always love you. And nobody could make me do wrong. Take me for granted, leaving your love unshown. Every time I say for granted, I always think of that song. It's just like Aretha Franklin. As soon as I hear for granted, I always hear Aretha Franklin in my head. Okay, now that I got that out of my system, gaslighting free zone. You're not changing the conversation. I don't know where or why or how they come up with some of these things, but oh, did you, Iris Demonia? I'm so glad I saw that. Well, yes, I actually did a little change with the membership. Remember, I kept saying I was too lazy to do it, but that's because I thought I was going to have to do all those perks and everything. But the perks ain't changing, y'all. But if you want to upgrade your membership, feel free to do or not to do it. Kat Harlem, 8 months, outstanding. Congratulations and thank you very much. H is going to attend Coronation and slip out as soon as the service ends. I hope the Sussex squad don't amplify any narrative the tabloids try to project. That's a good point, you guys. That's a good point. Let's not give them any ammunition to use against the Sussexes. That's why I always say when you're in these confrontations in these spaces, don't make it personal. And whatever you do, don't threaten anybody. Do not threaten anybody. Okay, so um, where it all went wrong. Now, listen to this. I want you to dissect these words. Oh, man. Lady Bird, are you a stickler for details or what? Okay, where it all went wrong for Kate and Harry, how pairs' close bond survived bridesmaid dress row as she played peacemaker between brothers, but crumbled when Duke's media bombshell deeply wounded her. Uh, I would like to say, I believe that I'm choosing my words carefully. I would like to say that I believe that any type of connection that they may have had probably ended when he said, I am dating Rachel Meghan Markle. Yes, I am dating Rachel Zane. I am dating Meghan Markle. I believe that's when everything went south. As a matter of fact, if they were so close, was Harry lying when he said, oh, I actually have been waiting for an invitation to their house, an invitation that never came? I was thinking, oh, they're doing some renovation, and once they're finished, then they'll have me over. The truth is, there was no closeness there to begin with. Yes, there was a lot of posturing in the public. Harry wants to get on with everybody. Harry loves everybody. Harry has even been cordial to Camilla. He does not want conflict with people, he wants connections, right? He wants a family. He wanted to be a family, and he wanted a family of his own. So he tried to be close to his brother, and what happened? He tried to be close to his father. He desperately wondered, why is it I've never hugged my grandmother? A lot of those things that most people take for granted, um, royal or no royal, there are just some instances where people are so aloof and so, I guess, emotionally removed from the people around them that those connections are never made. But that's what Harry wanted. He wanted a family, not an institution. He still wants a family and not an institution. There's a difference. So, is there the institutional Kate or is this the family Kate? Is there an institutional William or is there a family William? Which is it? Because I can tell you which one Harry wants. So, they are trying to gaslight us to believe that Harry has changed. Relationship between Kate Middleton and Prince Harry has dissolved. Has it now? When was it ever great? When was it ever great? So there was, I believe, 34, I think it was 34 photos in that article. And of course, one of the first photos and the most prominent, can you guess which one that one was? Can you guess which one? I guess it's probably easy because that's the one that I made the largest so that you could see it clearly. But this is what the fail is trying to gaslight us. And I'm not sure if they're going to imply something else in the future. That's what makes me nervous about this article is that I wonder if there's going to be some implication in the future that, because remember, you guys, there's a lot of people in the squad who is under the impression that very soon Mumbles is going to be thrown under the proverbial bus. And I wonder if this has anything to do with this. I'm just asking for a friend because it seems as though they are I guess, pulling at some threads to see if they can make something out of nothing. And the whole idea of Kate the Peacemaker, well, we all know where that comes from, right? Kate the Peacemaker. Take a look here. This was, what was it? Beatrice's? No, Eugenie's wedding. Eugenie's wedding. And so they introduce a photo on the left side. See how it appears as though Meghan is looking at Kate? Well, actually, if Meghan is giving somebody the side eye, well, look who's behind Kate. That's the one who wore the blackamoor brooch, the very racist brooch to the Christmas party. That's Princess Michael of Kent. So if Meghan is, and I'm just saying these are just a split second photo, if she is giving someone the side eye, it's not Kate, although I think that's what they're trying to say. It has to be that monster behind Kate. And then here on the right side, that's a photo that they did not include in the article, but I decided to throw it in there because it seems to me like somebody was sitting up there gossiping, perhaps about Meghan, maybe not. But Ford Fiesta or Ford Escape is in the photo on the left. You can only see the hem of that hideous dress she got on. But if you were able to pan over to the right, you would see that that is, what happened when Meghan walked past. It seems like all of a sudden somebody had to dummy up and try to, you know, take it down a notch or two. But I guess you can read a lot into these photos. Now, I'm not saying that I'm right, but I'm just saying I can't be any further off than the tabloids are. I mean, after all, I am a royal expert. And the reason why I am is because I believe I am. And so, as I believe, so I am. Just like the rest of the royal reporters, I'm a royal expert. I'm also a body language expert. I'm a lip reader. I'm a, what else? Uh, oh yes, and I'm trying to give myself one more title. But anyway, I am all of those things and probably some things I'm not even aware of. But yeah, so I'm not sure what they are trying to throw at us with this article, but let's go back to the headline where it all went wrong for Kate and Harry. How pairs' close bond survived bridesmaid dress row as she played peacemaker between brothers. Well, we don't know that they played peacemaker, do we? Because this is the so called peacemaker photo, right? This is when they were walking from Prince Philip's. Yeah, this is another occasion. Prince Philip's funeral. It was Prince Philip's funeral. Thank you, Connie Balmer. And as they were walking, Kate said something to Harry, and then she kind of slowed down so that Harry and William can talk. Now, that was interpreted as Kate being the peacemaker. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. And the people who said that don't know either. They are just assuming because Kate kind of drifted back and William and Harry were still communicating with each other. Well, it turns out that according to Harry's book, this was likely, I do believe this was the day when they went for a walk and Charles asked him if he was still going ahead with his lawsuit. I believe this was the day when they asked him about the lawsuit. They didn't want to know nothing about Meghan. All they wanted to know, are you still in that lawsuit? Oh, very cool, BW. I will share those probably tomorrow. But thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. I hope it was everything that you wanted it to be. Okay, let me see here. Marina Mavroginis. Boy. Okay, I hope I didn't mess up your name. In general, The royal family also needs better. Oh man, are you trying to say that it's not a good idea to tuck them into your waistband? Because for some people, um, tucking them into the waistband is usually the next best thing. So, plus, as I always say, gravity is a mother. Gravity is a mother. As a matter of fact, I was just mentioning yesterday how one of the royals from the past may have actually needed to use a sling for certain extremities or something. But for let me stop before I have to clean that one up. But thank you so much for your comment. Woo! But it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that sling. Do up, do up, do up, do up, do up. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that sling. Do up, do up, do up. Oh man, that's just awful. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Kate the Peacemaker. Anyway, I was talking about something that doesn't mean anything because it's probably not true. If you want to say Kate the Troublemaker, I'll buy that one. Now, you guys, if you take your children or your grandchildren uh, in public and you happen to have the occasion to meet members of the royal family, do not let this happen to you. So they're trying to make a big, oh, cutesy moment because the baby grabbed that cheap purse that Kate had and started slinging it around. God, I hope that kid didn't put that purse in his mouth. But that's a steal. Kate giggles as baby snatches handbag. Well, okay. Do you all want to hear my theory or not? Okay. This is my theory. Oh, well, I'm not going to give you a chance to answer. Uh, yes, thank you, Anastasia, because she had to walk behind because she know what her place is with William. Um, this is my theory. The poor child, as you know, kids, they're developing at that age. Their lungs are developing, their senses are developing, their eyesight. So the kid had a very primal reaction when his optic nerves were attacked by that ugly, cheap-looking purse, and when the glue or whatever formaldehyde that they used in that handbag began to attack his senses, then it gave him super strong strength and he was able to yank it and flip it around. That's what you call a primal instinct. To her, she calls it a handbag. But to him, it's like that primal instinct that we're born with. He thought it was like a serpent, and he thought perhaps the smell of that cheap glue and whatever type of epoxy they used to put it together, it probably made him a little ill, and so he probably took that as being like some type of venom. So he took it and started flinging it around to try to save his mommy. That's what he was doing. He was trying to save his mommy from that offensive, gaudy, tacky handbag that nobody ever that nobody would dare run out and try to buy. As you can see, not even the Daily Express is trying to make a big deal about how those purses were sold out. Not sold out, thrown out. But yeah, it's probably the epoxy has induced some type of euphoria. You see how his mama is all grinning, and now we know why Kate is grinning all the time because that cheap epoxy that they use to construct her handbags is probably, causing her to have delusions, and that explains all the facial tics. Now that I think about it. That explains all those facial tics. So I think someone needs to call Kensington Palace and warn them that Kate's handbags may be toxic and causing her to have blurred vision, double vision, um, facial tics, hand cramps. That's why she keep doing that hand stuff, because she got little ticks from that epoxy used to put them handbags together. That explains it. Yep, I have solved it. Now I understand what you see. Meghan usually buys products that are environmentally friendly, products that are, made in small startup companies, not using any type of industrial chemicals and stuff. But I'm afraid that handbag, it probably seemed like it was some type of serpent coming at the kid. And because of that, he grabbed it to try to save his mommy. But mommy is getting a little buzz from all the chemicals coming out the bag. So that is what's. Oh, man. But that is just a theory, you guys. I cannot prove any of that is true, but I can't possibly, in good, you know, uh, I can't say that it's not true. I would be doing a public disservice if I tried to say otherwise. So the moral of the story is, don't go walking toward people with them cheap handbags. Oh, well. And knowing her, she probably paid too much for it, too. So, but that's not the only thing that happened on the outing. It wasn't enough that she took that toxic, ugly handbag and was waving it around people, causing people to become irritable and delusional and euphoric. The other thing is she decided to try to have a conversation. So somebody asked her a question, and I'm pretty sure that the courtiers were in a panic, like, oh God, somebody just asked her a question. Well, they asked her about Princess Diana. They said, let me see, Kate makes incredibly rare comment about Diana during visit to Wales, revealing details about the late princess's engagement ring and telling how William's family miss women who would have been a brilliant, miss woman who would have been a brilliant grandmother. Really? Really? So Princess of Wales opens up about her late mother-in-law in the whatever that place is, that language, Welsh. But okay. So I would love to share a transcript with you of the conversation, but Royal Sussex actually had one of our field crew out there covering the event, and this is what Kate said.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things, it is. it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
So yes. Anyway, so that was the length and breadth and width of the conversation, if you will. Not much to report. Um, maybe next time, Royal Sussex will stop trying to save money and we'll hire a translator or an interpreter. That's what we need, an interpreter. So there you go. That was a visit to Wales. Your guess is just as good as mine. So right here, I told you guys, sometimes when they try to help Kate, when they try to make her identify with people, with other royal princesses or queens, instead of helping her, they hurt her. Instead of helping her, they actually cause more harm. Because had they not said this, you know how I'm always saying that Kate always have her head tilted to one side. It starts listening to the side like the Andrea Doria before it sank to the bottom of the sea. Well, right here, strike a regal pose. How royals have perfected, that is, the art of taking pictures at engagements with these 5 easy steps. I am very sure that it doesn't include lay your head on your shoulder. I'm reasonably certain that at no place in those instructions does it say to tilt your head to one side. And instead of people missing it, now they're drawing attention to it. I mean, it was bad enough that I was pointing it out. Now now everybody's gonna see it. See what I mean? When they try to uplift her, when they try to make her seem like she's everybody else, no, she's not like everybody else. She's the only one on the screen that keeps doing that. So, no, she's not like everybody else. That's Kate. That's Kate, the future queen. Um, you guys, from this day forward, I am not going to talk about the Sussexes at the Lakers game because it seems to be causing a spot of bother for the Cambridges. So I believe this is supposed to be their anniversary, right? And they want people to see how in love they are. And I accept them for what they say it is. That's what love looks like. Love is when two people have that unspoken language between one another, just like William and Kate, right? Just like them. Or is it just like the Sussexes? So as you can see, whatever love means, they're together with each other in that photo. But the thing is, this photo that they released actually was taken the same day that they took that photo and that photo. Okay? They are recycling the same photos every time they want to convey how close they are. And because I'm a royal reporter and in the interest of public knowing, how do they say it, in the interest of the public, it is of interest to the public that the future head of state who is going to be crowned, and put on a throne and everything along with Kate, I just want people to know that they're in love. That's all. No sarcasm. Dear unhappy couple, if you hate each other but need to keep up appearances, then taking your Christmas, Mother's Day, and anniversary photos on one day, follow me for more marriage tips. So, of course, this is a parody account for Kate Middlebaum, but you know what? How come I didn't notice that before? Kate Middleton. How come I just noticed that? Do you know how many times I have quoted from this account and I never noticed two O's? Kate Middleton. This is the Kate Middleton parody account. Oh Lord. Um. Anyway, it is the same photo. It is the same photo. And they seem to pull out this photo every time that the Sussexes have a date night, or every time people tend to go on about how close and how tactile and how in love they are. Then they start pulling out them same GD photos again and again. Kate Middleton and Prince William matching jeans and their most casual family Christmas card yet. Kate celebrates UK Mother's Day with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Same outfits. Same outfits. Now I'm surprised they didn't do one of those pathetic photoshops like they did with the Queen the other day. Yeah, the space between them. I mean, you could not make this up. You could not make this up. Trying to compete with the Sussexes is dangerous because you're going to get yourself hurt. You are going to get yourself hurt. Not physically, of course, but just, spiritually hurt, spiritually wounded. Well, somebody's got to point this stuff out. I mean, oh, the hypocrisy. Now, Charles's emotional support, Camilla, seems to be the only senior royal, within Charles's circle, his kids, his grandkids. She seems to be the only senior royal who's not on the new tab that was created by the Daily Fail. So the Fail has decided that they are going to help to elevate the enthusiasm for the coronation by using a special tab on their digital page where they can actually highlight all things royal, especially the king and queen consort, the prince and princess of Wales and their children. Of course, absent are Archie and Lily. They don't have any photos of them to share, but they have the rest of the family, and that's what's really important to them. Let's see. Nissagate, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So, all of this information that Harry has shared in court, all of the love and affection that the Sussexes have for each other. Meghan debuted a hairstyle that she's worn before, but it seems to be new to them, and it seems to be part of some secret plot that has been hatched. The hairstyle that is going to destroy the House of Windsor. Well, anyway, there seemed to have been a late night Zoom call between the royal rodents and, of course, the Cambridges, and you can see you can see Camilla Tominey's head doesn't actually fit into the frame. You know what? I didn't notice that until just now, but you can see Camilla Tominey's face does not fit into the frame. I don't know why, but for some reason, everybody else you can see their entire face, but Camilla Tominey, half of her face is out of the frame for some odd reason. I don't know why, but that remnant of Easter Island cannot seem to fit her face into the frame. But I don't know. Maybe if she's like go and stand in the corner. Yeah, that's, you know what? I'm going to have someone from the Royal Sussex communication team reach out to Camilla Tominey and suggest that, well, I'm going to suggest two things. She needs to stand in the corner so she can get her whole face in the frame because people will trust you more. And then also for the Princess of Wales, perhaps subtitles. Yeah, subtitles. And I would probably make, if I had to make a third suggestion, I would probably have Robert Jobson not do the Zoom calls from the loo. Or maybe he's not, but it always seems like he's sitting on the toilet somewhere when he's on a Zoom call. But maybe that explains all that grunting and stuff that you hear. But yeah, that'd be my other suggestion. So Iris Demonia, she is the only single rod that you can corn and. Oh man, thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super sticker. Okay. Marjorie says, must be the PR outfit hoping it will resonate with people. They got millions, including Willie's settlement, so they better stop trying to deceive people with these outfits. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just, oh, this is the only senior royal that can choose. Okay. That is Camilla, right? Let me see. Go back there. Hi, Silver. Oh, by the way, you guys, they said Camilla is not going to go gray. I don't know how you would notice what color her hair is, to be honest with you, but they said she's not going to go gray, as if we would notice. Gray, white, silver. I tend to get stuck somewhere in the center. That's all I ever see. I wouldn't know whether she changed it. Oh, by the way, I do have something for her, but thank you again, Iris Demonia. And let me see here. Okay, so that is the Zoom call between all interested parties as they are in a panic about Meghan's hair. And of course, about the WME. So, urgent meeting, aka Zoom meltdown with friends over Meghan's deal with the WME. And of course, her hair. It all started with her hair. But anyway, thank you to the squaddy that put that together. That is super cool. And then take a look right here. I see Hugh Grant has made the front pages in Ireland. In case you missed, UK coverage is here. Yes, there is the Independent in Ireland, and there's also the Independent in the UK. One of the Independents actually put that on the front cover. The other, I doubt if they even made a mention of it, if any. Hugh Grant is sitting in the back of the courtroom listening. On the final day of this hearing, he accuses the son of burglaries, bugging, landline tapping, phone hacking. The Duke of Sussex also accuses news group newspaper of unlawful information gathering. So there's a tale of two cases. There is Harry's case, and that we, has seemed to have captured everybody's imagination, although they underreported. And then there's Hugh Grant, who gets very little daylight from the tabloid press. Trying to convince people Camilla has the same facial. Oh, God, really? Ugh, gaslighting. Bonsoir, Charlotte, muy bien. So, okay, you guys, I just want to make a point to bring this up because I kept talking about it. Now this makes more sense than ever before. The BBC lies fueled my mother's paranoia, right? Remember that speech he gave throwing his mother under the bus and trying to blame the BBC and Martin Bashir for everything bad that happened to his mother and between his mother and father. And then we find out, because remember, if you look at that at face value, it means that all of Diana's troubles stem from the BBC using deceptive practices to convince her to give the rights to the interview to the BBC and Martin Bashir. Okay, that's true. They used deception. However, her words were her own words, which is what Diana said at the time. She said, no matter how this happened, that's how I felt. I think she actually wrote a letter about that. Now, if you look on the right side, the people who really, I think, is responsible, the tabloid media, not just Murdoch's paper, but all of the tabloids, William actually gives cover to them by making that speech. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? It is blaming everything, or the implication is that the blame goes to the BBC and not anything to do with the tabloids. Well, one tabloid in particular paid a very, very costly settlement, or made a very costly deal with William that excluded Harry, right? That went against the wishes of the Queen. So, doesn't this make more sense why, when he was handed that speech, that he would take his, oh, I was about to cuss, he would take his dumb self y'all know what I was about to say, but he'd take his dumb self down there and stand in front of the camera. And I thought this speech was weird then, but now it makes more sense that he would take his little dumb self down there, and somebody, and he didn't even write that speech. He didn't even write that speech. Somebody handed him that speech, and it seemed like it just kind of, okay, it was in response to an investigation about Martin Bashir, Panorama, and the BBC, right? But you all but absolve any responsibility for the actions of the tabloid media where your mother was concerned for years. For years, you have lifted any responsibility, or implied less, if not completely no responsibility, for anybody else except for Martin Bashir, the BBC, and of course the team at Panorama, which is the television show on BBC, which aired the interview. Yes, Lady Bird, I would say the scapegoat. I would say he's the scapegoat. Yep. So now that, because I kept saying to myself, why would you take your dumb self out there and give a speech like that, right? Now, Harry gave a response to that speech, or a response to the investigation of the BBC and Panorama and all that. It didn't sound anything like Williams. It didn't sound anything like Williams. Harry did not dispute the fact that his mother felt the way that she felt. No matter how you want to spin it, I say that they are making a scapegoat of the BBC, Panorama, and Martin Bashir, who is not the nicest person in the world, but still, he's not solely responsible for what happened to Diana. The way she had been terrorized, stalked, and mistreated and abused by a collection of the British press, not just the BBC and Panorama. I always thought that was rather bizarre. I mean, why would you? They handed him a speech, and he took his little dumb self down there, or out there, or wherever he was standing, and read the speech out, and probably didn't change a word of it. William's anger at Bashir's scandal. Oh, and let us not forget, too, that along with all of the stuff that William said, the other thing that he said is that that video of his mother doing that interview should be locked away in a vault and never seen again. They need to lock it up. Just lock it up. Nobody should ever see it again, even though it's all over the internet. But nobody should see that. Nobody. So he's trying to bury his mother's words. He is literally trying to stifle his mother. He's silencing his mother by implying that nobody should ever see that interview. As though it almost, okay, again, it's not exactly what he said, but the implication was that there was deceptive practices. Okay, we all agree to that. But where he misses the target is, but these things still happen to her. Not from Martin Bashir only, but from the entire tabloid complex. So why blame one entity for something that is still happening today? Something that happened to Hugh Grant and Doreen Lawrence and everybody else. Carolyn Flack. Are you going to blame all of that on the BBC too? Okay, trigger warning. There's a lot of comment in the Twitter streets about this airbrushing, this very obvious airbrushing. Okay, I understand there's a few things that you would like to draw a little attention away from, but don't most people spread out when they sit down, right? All of a sudden, it seems like she's found the proper bra. All of a sudden, her skin is so clear and porcelain-like. I mean, this is so exaggerated. Now, I'm going to say too, I'm sure the lighting also is a factor because they have some very intense lighting, enough to get in between every fold and every crease. However, there's so much that the lighting can do before you take a scalpel to that person's image and suddenly they don't even look like the same person. They have turned the clock back probably 30 years for her. You know, and this is an official portrait. I understand that. The one of Charles is pretty much the same. Now, according to Richard Palmer, King to be joined by Tom Cruise at coronation concert. Are the royal Scientologists too? Well, why is, you guys know Tom Cruise's popularity was used to save the Queen's coronation event. Remember that? They had Tom Cruise show up. Now it seems, I mean, not her coronation, but her Jubilee. So aside from the Jubilee, now they're bringing him back to help with the coronation. Sean says the sun don't have that much light. Even heavens are confused about lighting that does not exist. Thank you so much for that, Sean. Corinne Reyna says, hi, Baron and Sussex family. I'm living in the Twilight Zone. I feel like taking a plane out. At the coronation, protesters' voices will be drowned when they try to say the emperor has no clothes. Yeah, well, you know what? They have 6,000 military people out there to make sure that they can suppress any hint of discontent. I am sure of that. Well said, Black Queen. Well said. Okay. And as a billionaire king is crowned, he urges us to do some charity work. Welcome to Britain. Charles' coronation initiative is no surprise. The royals seem to prefer ad hoc philanthropy to actually funding public services. Now, this is in the shadow of the article that said that Charles may have 1.8 billion pounds of wealth, which is more than the 680 pounds that was quoted before that. And I am sure that it is probably double the 1.8 billion. I'm sure it's double that. And so he who possesses it probably the best private art collection in the world, the greatest ever assembled, along with jewelry, property, and so on. There's no way in the world that that is not a a a 6 billion pound man that we're looking at right there. And that's not even including the Duchy of Cornwall that belongs to William now. So he's up there. And given the fact that his mother's funeral was a huge burden to the British taxpayer, it would only make sense that if you're going to have another event so close together, that you pay for it. You can afford it, you pay for it. The coronation is a once in a lifetime event for most people alive today. Well, I take that back. Most older people, most people who were too young or wasn't born when the Queen had her coronation before. So I understand that a lot of royalists, this is important to them, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody. However, during a cost of living crisis, even if Charles just paid half, the royal family pays for royal weddings, right? But they don't pay for the security. The royal family pays for those weddings. A state funeral is done with government funding. A coronation is government funding. However, I think a lot of people are waking up to the idea that they are phenomenally wealthy. So if I was to be fair, I would say that he doesn't really own that stuff. He's a steward to the land. He is a steward of all of those things. However, if times got hard and they needed to sell something, he could also do that. So, yeah, he can't do anything with all that money. He can't do anything with all those possessions, but you still are asking the taxpayers to pay for this second wedding or third wedding for Camilla, really. You're asking people to pay for that when you could certainly pay for it yourself. If you could pay for weddings, then you could pay for this. And you're making it rain, 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 rain on me. And you're making it rain, 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 rain on me. Oh man, VS Speaks Royally. Thank you so much for being here. I am deeply honored always. Okay, so Queen Camilla's hairdresser, William should have sorted his hair ages ago. Celebrity hair colorist Joe Hansford has been looking after the Queen consort's hair for 30. I wouldn't tell nobody that. I would not tell nobody that I do her hair for 35 years, and has firm views on royal hairstyles. Now, you know what? I'll do it like this. I will do it like this so I can see it better. Oh, that is better. Okay, Queen Consort is lucky to have such a good advisor. Good advisor or an assassin. I'm not sure which she is. But, and although when I asked what she would do with Meghan's hair, Hansford deflects with a grimace, and we won't discuss the big M. Oh, I love that, calling her the big M. All right. She has some thoughts on the Duchess of Cambridge's mane. Well, good. I hope somebody will bring up the topic because I, for one, am tired of looking at it. She got lovely hair, but I do think it's too long. She's so slim, and with hair, you have to look at the whole image, the proportions. So I would take it up 6 inches. Not that she believes in mom cuts, she says. I don't agree with the idea at all. But as you get older, you need a bit of shaping. Now, let me see. Hold on a second. Exactly what in the world is. Oh, yeah. Uh huh. And get rid of those extensions. They are offensive. Yep, 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 yep. And that muskrat brown is also offensive. I agree. I agree. So far, I am in agreement with her. If people are looking at your head and the song Muskrat Love comes to mind, time to do something with the hair color. Okay, let me see. Where did I leave off? But as you get older, you need a bit of shaping because your face muscles start to droop. Face muscles start to droop. What is she trying to say? Whose facial muscles are drooping? How dare she imply that anybody within the royal family has a wait? Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what she means. Never mind. Okay, facial muscle starts to droop. So bringing it up to say shoulder length gives you a lift. That said, everything ages differently. I mean, everyone ages differently. What do you mean everybody ages differently? I mean, how dare you? How dare you? Let me see what she's talking about. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Never mind. Well, anyway, I think she's trying to be helpful, and I agree that she ought to shorten it a bit because maybe the length of it is a bit improbable, if not impossible, and only achieved with the use of hair extensions. And I think it's rather distracting. I think it's very refreshing that the Duchess of Sussex feels totally secure to wear her hair in a bun, a messy bun, or however she wears it, that she pulls it up away from her shoulders to highlight her delicate cheekbones, that million megawatt smile that she has, and of course, beaming through all of that is a lovely personality. So it's just a matter of taste. Not everybody feels the same way, but some people, what do they say? Recollections may vary, or the aging process may vary. So, okay, I get it. I get it. You got to do you, boo. You got to do you, boo. Okay. So, just an idea. So, if anybody from Kensington Palace is listening, might we suggest shoulder length hair at this point? Because yeah, when you're that tall, you do kind of look like a dancing mop or something like that, or a broomstick. So, I think it's sound advice. I think it's sound advice. I like her. I like her. Okay, let me look at the comments here. And you're making it rain, 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 rain on me. Cause you're making it. Now I can't stop singing that song. Cause you're making it rain, rain, rain. Muskrat Susie, Muskrat Billy. How does that song go? Muskrat Love? Oh man. You guys, I have gotten way out of hand today. I am going to have to confess my sins, I suppose, because my sarcasm is off the chain today. Let me see. Muskrat Love. Uh, oh, man. Okay, here it is. Muskrat, muskrat. Muskrat, muskrat, candlelight, doing the town and doing it right. In the evening, it's pretty pleasing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yes, Muskrat Love. Okay, okay. All right, let's. So, anyway, someone in the Sussex squad had noticed and you're making it rain, 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 rain on me. What was I saying? I just blacked out for a minute there. Anyway, as you can see, the very different body language that you can see when Charles is greeting someone that he identifies with, compared to someone who, someone else, someone else. And so I'm sure that there's nothing to imply from this photo. It is just merely, um, actually, what is it? Maybe he's close friends with the other person and not so much with the person of color. I don't know. I'm not going to imply anything because according to what's her name? Floella. According to Floella, her presence at the coronation proves King's embraces diversity. So I'm not going to make something out of nothing. I'm sure that this is just a mere happenstance, and I don't even know what happenstance means, but I'm sure that's what it is. Okay, so yesterday, Legs had mentioned this email. Dear WME and Ari Emanuel, we understand that you have a new client, Meghan Markle, and want her to make you money, but please break this agreement with her. We lost her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and we are still grieving as a country. It is imperative that our monarchy does well and that Prince William and Catherine take the throne one day in a smooth manner. It has been attacked so much. I don't see how it happens when Harry is suing newspapers and your client is trying by overshadowing the coronation with her new hair and announcements. Our country have historically been friends. Please don't spoil that. Hakeem Ames, KC, Karen Ames, LLB, CILEX, whatever the heck that means. So I guess this was like a parody or something like that. I hope it is. So the account, what is the account? Something Ames. Yeah. Is it no, it's not Hakeem Ames, but anyway, Karen Ames. Karen Ames. I think it's a parody account. But anyway, I think they were just having fun. But this is what Legs was. I hope they're having fun. I hope that that's a parody account because if it's not, that is really weird. Let me see. Karen Ames. I believe it's a parody account. I do. I really do. I need to believe that it's a parody. But yeah, so there you have it. Okay. So Meghan and her magical hair. Well, that lady did sing that song about Meghan's hair, didn't she? All right, so right here, Richard Palmer, who is completely trustworthy, and you ought to believe everything he says, not. Uh, New York's Empire State Building will light up red, white, and blue to honor King Charles. The Empire State Building tower lighting requests. So what they're saying here is money can buy you love. Oh, let me pull that down so you can see it. Anybody can put in a request and ask for the lighting of the Empire State Building to coincide with an event. Thank you for your interest in becoming an Empire State Building lighting partner. The Empire State Building receives far more lighting applications from organizations around the world than it is able to accommodate. All lighting requests must be made through www.empirestatebuilding.com. Lighting requests made via or including petitions and or social media campaigns will not be considered. Please note that while your application will be received immediately, the Empire State Building does not provide a decision regarding your tower lighting request more than 3 months in advance of the requested lighting date. So, in other words, if you are willing to pay for it, and if it's not anything that is immoral or illegal or something like that involved with it, you can ask for it. You can pay for it, I think. So, anyway, yeah, I think you either pay for it or you just have to, maybe you can just request, but they're not doing it out of love. They're doing it because of a request. That's the reason why. So someone will have to petition them for that. It's not that the Empire State Building itself, their board or whatever, is interested in the coronation. I'm not going to say anything because I know that she has some fans, and I don't want to disrespect her. Uh, she has managed to make a life for herself in a way that I'm sure a lot of people thought wasn't possible. She is an esteemed actress in the British television, theater, movies, and she deserves all the respect that is due a person in her position, and a member of the House of Lords, no less, right? I mean, there she is in her outfit right there. And also, dare I say, an artist. I mean, anybody could look at her can tell that she loves to dabble in colors. She's a very daring individual, Foella Benjamin. So, again, with much respect, I say good for you, girl. Enjoy your time at the coronation. And I hope that she is sincere in what she's saying. I believe she is. And I hope that King Charles will use that powerful platform to do some great things. So far, he has used his power to abuse certain people, but he's also helped people. That's the real odd thing about his power, is that he has helped and hurt all at the same time. And one of the people that I say have been injured by his power is his own son, because he made a deal with the media. But remember, you can't be more angry than the people that are affected by these things. So, however, that does not mean that I don't feel compelled to defend people that may have been affected. But there you go. Well, but yeah, so that's what she posted today. Oh, is that what it is? She doesn't do any acting? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, no, I'm just kidding. I'm still going to be nice to her. So, I think this is Nottingham. How would you like if somebody took much needed money from, oh, by the way, Manello, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex and being a member of Royal Sussex. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. So, let me see. Floella is truly a good person. Lots of Black women, presenters, and actors were given a leg up by Floella, but I'm not keen that she is the latest token. Yeah, Irene. I mean, that's very important to remind people. Thank you so much for that. Even though, I mean, because listen, here in the United States, we also have people of color that are in these positions of authority. They have become trailblazers, change makers, and not everybody agrees with their politics. Not everybody agrees with their friends and connections and such. But the thing is, she is there to not only represent herself and her family, but she does carry the extra added burden of a whole race of people that have been marginalized in the greater society. And so some days she probably just wants to not be a first or a credit to. She probably just wants to be. And we shouldn't put that pressure on her. However, it just looks mighty awkward when you put your face in the camera and say, my place in the coronation proves King embraces diversity, while his African American daughter in law is being skewered by the very tabloid media that he has crawled up into bed with. But I'm not going to put that on her. It's not her responsibility to help Meghan or anybody else. I don't want to put that on her. But yeah, so I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair. Let me see. She is a token because she shouldn't support oppression inflicted on anyone. Too much is given, too much is given, much is required. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Trina Hodges. That is very important. And that goes for the members of the royal family. Instead of taking and taking, they ought to give back more, especially when they go to some of these shelters and charities and such. Bring something with you. How about that? Let me see. Sorry, I thought Barron said she was. I thought she was an actress. I saw her with a bunch of actors at some event, but maybe I was wrong. Thank you for letting me know. I do watch many UK TV shows besides politicals. You can please tell me more about her. I want to learn. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I should read. I read about her a while ago, but I kind of forgot. I think that was when they unveiled a statue. She actually has a bust that was made of bronze, or is made of bronze. And yeah, so, all right. I stand corrected. She's not an actress, although, okay, she was a TV presenter, not an actress. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. No wonder I've never seen her in anything. Okay. So kind of like a Sesame Street person, is that right? Okay, so yes, the local council had to pay for this gigantic crown. Right here, it says, I'll be reading a book, is what someone said about the coronation. Oh, Kat Harlem, thank you so much for the super chat. Will someone tell her Charles doesn't have a problem with her because she's not in his family? There you go. There you go. Because he can distance himself whenever he wants to, right? He's not related to her. Very good. Oh, yes, the black nurse that Kate embraced that time. Baron, I'm glad you mentioned the nurse too. It was Kate when she was giving birth to George. The media pretends that is, she never existed. She had two young children. I remember when Kate was at a hospital for something, and I couldn't believe it. She hugged this black nurse ages ago. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know she had it in her. Of course, if somebody saw me give birth, I would feel close to them too. I mean, I just feel like we have no secrets anymore. Okay. I mean, the only other, okay, let me stop. Council preparations are underway, but excitement is muted, and some say they are unlikely to watch. Polling suggests the Midlands is an area of Britain where people are least moved by the coronation. When asked in recent YouGov survey how much you care about the forthcoming coronation of King Charles, 41% of the people in the Midlands said they cared not very much. In Scotland, 45% of those polled said they cared not at all, but attitudes in the Midlands revealed widespread ambivalence. That is. The city muted excitement levels are reflected in the number of applications for street closures so the coronation parties can be held. Nottingham City Council has received applications for 10 street parties, about half of the number of requests made before the Queen's Jubilee last year. That many, huh? Let me see. What am I hiding up there in the corner? Let me take a look up there in the corner. Oh, wait, there it is. The crown had been bought out of Council Depot, where it is stored along with a vast goose that appears annually for the Nottingham Goose Fair, repainted and had its plastic pearls. That's a goose? That's a goose? Retrofitted with LED bulbs so it can be lit up at night. Let me take a look at that crap again. Let me see. That can't be a goose. Well, maybe it is. Maybe they change it or something. Anyway, they're going to light that up, and people are not excited. Okay. And so by the way, this article was in The Guardian about the crown in Nottingham. And likewise, The Guardian ran an article about this. The Crown, the Crown were saying, kill him, kick him to the death. What happened to people who protest against King Charles? Oh, okay. I'm not the Crown, the crowd. The crowd was saying, kill him, kick him to death. What happens to people who protest against King Charles? So that is the article. When the Queen died last year, Republicans balked at the fawning response to the secession. Some even found themselves under arrest for minor acts of protest, such as heckling. Ahead of next week's coronation, 3 tell their tales. So there's 3 people in the article. There's the barrister who got arrested for holding a blank sign. The egg throwing kid, he's also in there. And then there's a 3rd person. So if you want to see it, you have to find that article in the Guardian. And you'll know it's the right one because you'll see this photo attached to it, which is like my new favorite thing. I call out, let's not bow down to our equals. Then the security guard pushed me backwards and the police rushed in. So that was an account of one of the people that got arrested. He said, let's not bow down to our equals. And all of a sudden, the police were all over him like a cheap suit. So again, there is a lot of apathy about this. What? No bacon, no ham, no sausage? Well, there is sausage, but Charles has the sausage on his fingers or on his hands. So yes, there is some pork. Charles has his fingers. So what tells me when I look at Charles, it's like a little voice in my head says, Charles sniffs his fingers a lot. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but something tells me that Charles sniffs his fingers. Don't ask me why, but maybe he has something in his pocket, right? Because he keeps that little fat hand in his pocket, and then he pulls that fat, chubby hand out of his pocket and sniffs it for some reason. I wonder why. I bet it's really warm too. All that blood pulsating through that big floppy hand of his. I wonder if at night when he goes to sleep, do they go down? And then when he wakes up, they just like puff up again? I have been thinking about that for a while. Don't ask me why, but I have been trying to figure that out. Does he sniff his hands? And do they get smaller overnight? And then as soon as he get up and start moving around, they just balloon out there again. Oh, oh well. Oh, okay. Let me stop thinking about them hands. They give me the creeps. Poor Angela Kelly. Look at that nice house that she got kicked out of. Moving day, Queen's former right-hand woman, Angela Kelly, heads out of Windsor home after revealing she was cut off by King and booted out of her idyllic cottage. Yes, yes, she has no home. La da dee da da da, la da dee da da da. Remember that song, Gypsy Woman? She's homeless. She homeless. La da dee da da da. Rottweiler loves sausage fingers. Yes, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you could take the burnt end of those sausages and just feed them to the Rottweilers. La da dee da da da, la da dee da da da. Remember that song, Gypsy Woman? Now that I done put that song in your head, I know y'all gonna want to listen to it. Cause she's homeless. Cause she's homeless. La da dee da da. Boy, Angela Kelly thought she had it made. I hope she didn't. Well, she probably had to cancel the painters or wallpaper people or whatever, because I bet she was about to put in a jacuzzi and all kind of stuff, only for King Charles to kick her out. Ain't that something? Well, she still got that nice Range Rover. La da dee da da. Okay, the Times 1959 edition. In January 1959, they were trying to warn Malta, right? Malta cannot live on its own. The island could pay for only 1/5 of her food and essential imports. Well over a quarter of the present labor force would be out of work, and the economy of the country would collapse without British Treasury. What is that? Subventions? Subventions? Okay. Talk of full independence for Malta is therefore hopelessly impractical. Well, that was back in 1959. They're doing okay now. But someone posted this, someone who is pursuing independence for Wales pointed out that that is exactly what they say. Every time somebody wants independence, they try to talk them out of it by selling fear. It's been said about pretty much every country which gained its independence that they couldn't possibly go it alone, or those that did, many are now, I'm sorry, of those that did, many are now richer than Wales. So he is making the case that if Wales wants independence, that it is probably, thank you, Lydia, Gypsy Woman, la la dee la 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 dee. I want to go listen to that now. Charles Sausage. Oh, let me highlight that. Charles Sausage Ringo is from Inbreeding. Iris, now you stop reading my mind. Those reptilian invertebrate, what do you call it? Inbreds. Well, there is the story about the King Charles of Spain, who had that very oddly long jaw, and they said that that was a result of inbreeding because he was actually a Habsburg, and the Habsburgs of Austria were notorious for marrying within the family, and because of that small gene pool, what happens is you get sausage fingers. Oh man. Well, thank you so much for that, Iris. And I am not going to disagree with you at all. That is a possibility. So, so yes, if you are listening to me from Wales, if there is a referendum for independence, don't be afraid to leave the Union. Vote for it. They'll welcome you with open arms in the European Union. Okay, and Malta attained independence from British Empire and joined the Commonwealth of Nations in 1964 and declared itself a republic a decade later, known as Republic Day. And so they are celebrating their independence on Republic Day every year. This is the same Malta that was supposed to sink into the Mediterranean if it wasn't for the British. Well, to be fair to Britain, Britain is only one of dozens of people that have invaded Malta. They have been invaded and conquered by the French, the everybody. Everybody has had a piece of Malta. They have a multicultural society, and so all of the fear about independence was a waste of time. Most countries that gain their independence, they do okay. It's when they refuse to let go, when they try to keep themselves connected to the so-called motherland, that's when they run into trouble. This sounds like a bad joke, but it's not. It actually happened. So Obama, Steven Spielberg, and Bruce uh, Obama, Steven Spielberg, and Bruce Springsteen walked into a bar. I'm just kidding. It wasn't a bar. It was a restaurant. So yeah, it says here. Let me pull that down because I can't see the left side. I don't know if you guys can, but yeah, President Obama, Steven Spielberg, and Bruce Springsteen have dinner together at a restaurant in Barcelona, then pose for a picture with the delighted staff. Can you believe that? Can you believe you come to work one day and they tell you that these legends are going to dine there? Legends are going to dine at the restaurant. I mean, how would you even make sense out of that? Okay. But yeah, that really did happen. Okay, let me see here. Right. All right. Let me see. Oh, I like that. Let me see. I guess Angela Kelly did Camilla like she did Duchess Meghan when the Queen was alive. I bet Charles and Camilla said, "You just wait." Didn't want Camilla to wear the jewelry. Oh, now that is a possibility. That is a possibility. Yeah, Angela Kelly was probably like some kind of creepy gatekeeper for certain things. Oh well, that is what happens when you are one of the courtiers or the queen's dresser for that matter. What a life she must have had. I think Angela Kelly's family had some pretty meager beginnings. I think her father was like a shop owner or a coal miner or something. Anyway, she's not from one of the, yeah, maybe that's why, because she's not from one of their families, one of those big aristocratic families. Maybe she's just not their kind. Maybe that's why. I think this is the last photo. Yeah, I think I'm done after this, you guys. But take a look. There is President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. The two of them are in Barcelona jamming at a Steven Spielberg, what am I saying? A Bruce Springsteen concert. I couldn't share the video because it has the copyrighted music, but I can share the photo with you. But yeah, they were rocking and having a good time and very much in love. It seems like the spark, the magic of their relationship has not diminished at all. I mean, this is like an unguarded moment. You can see Steven Spielberg there on the side, and Michelle and Barack, and they are just having a good time. So very, very cool. And with that, you guys, we are done, which is good because it's raining and I'm starting to get a little sleepy. So I feel a nap coming on. Thank you all so much for moderators for keeping this a safe space. And thank you so much for the generous contributions. It is greatly appreciated by your content creator. Also, the video that I played earlier, Phenomenal Woman, is available for you to watch on the Royal Sussex channel. There's an individual video for that if you haven't seen it yet. So, well, you watched it here with us, some of you. But yeah, if you'd like to see it again, you can just go over to the menu at the Royal Sussex and you can see it for a second time, third, fourth, fifth. You can share it with people if you like. That is always appreciated too. And I may have another edited video for you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Christopher. I shall do my best to take a short nap so that I won't be up all night. But we'll see how it goes. I hate to take a nap in the day because then I'm up all night, but we'll see. Thank you, Mackenzie. You have a nice weekend as well. Hello, Andrea Dawkins. Not much excitement here in Canada about the coronation. Really? I'm surprised. I'm just kidding. As I say sarcastically, really? I'm surprised. Okay. And, oh yeah, BW, I just checked my email. I did not see any photos yet. So I am going to do the post the email again. If you're still here, I'm going to post it. It's just the that right there. Yeah, so the photos, they didn't come through yet. And I'm checking. Yep, no photos yet. But if you have time, we'd love to see them. Claire Kane, I watched your video today. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was prepping, but I'm going to go back and watch it. Thank you so much. Let me see. Oh, my goodness. Well, let's hope it's not anything. Oh, you said undiagnosed. So that means they know what it is, right? They found out that she was sick, but she didn't know that she was okay. I think that's right. Okay, we will pray for her. Thank you so much for letting us know. Let me see here. Thank you, Coffee Bar. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. All right. You know, I had a few people that, and you guys that moderate know this because you have removed their comments, but they get really triggered when I say Princess Meghan. I don't understand why that bothers people so much. She is a princess. You know, Camilla was the Duchess of Cornwall, but her real title, well, one of her titles was Princess of Wales. And I think you always are supposed to defer to the highest ranking title. But she wanted people to do that because she didn't want people to, you know, get a bad taste in their mouth thinking about the fact that she is alive and Diana isn't. I mean, that she's, you know what I mean. And so if I feel like referring to the Duchess of Sussex as a princess, that's my prerogative. Now, unless she tells me otherwise, I'm going to continue to do it. Thank you, Lydia Washington. Yes, continued prayers for Church Nellie. Don't forget, there is a Get Well card. You can leave your wishes and thoughts and prayers on the community tab. Let me take a look and see how many comments are on there now. Community. Wow, 330. 330 people. Let me see if I can give you guys a link for that. Let me see. Is there a link for it? Let me see. Let me see if I can give you guys a link for it. Well, maybe this will work. Let me see. So try that. You can click on that link and leave a kind word for our church, Nellie. There you go. You'll know you got the right one when you see Nacho Figueres, the international face of Ralph Lauren's polo. Okay, you guys, thank you very much. And let's see, our last word today will be Princess Meghan. Princess Meghan. Thank you, Joy Amore. That sounds good to me. Oh, nobody's talking about the coronation in Jamaica? Really? I'm surprised, as I say in a very sarcastic tone. Okay. All right, you guys, nap time. Thank you very much. I am going to end with Madam Duchess instead of the Ginger Avenger today. Let's go out with Madam Duchess. Thank you to our queens. Let me see. Madam Duchess, Madam Duchess.
Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palms of my hands, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. That's my mother and all your mothers. and my grandmothers, and your grandmothers, and my great-grandmothers, and your greats, and my great-greats, and all you women, and me.
Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.